Newzroom Afrika's Karinda Jagmohan is in Pietermaritzburg, also keeping an eye on developments 3 years later. And she's standing by with the city's Chamber of Business chairperson. Karinda, good morning. We were hearing some of the testimony to the South African Human Rights Commission about the state of affairs in Pietermaritzburg after the violence. And if I'm not mistaken, the person that you're about to talk to was sharing with us her recounting of what she had witnessed and seeing people directly affected, some people even murdered during the chaos.
Certainly, good morning to Iman. Well, on that day, the CEO of the Pietermaritzburg and Midlands Chamber of Business, Melanie Veness, was on the ground looking at the chaos that had unfolded. She told her story to the Human Rights Commission, and she joins me today. Melanie, thank you so much for your time every year as well to just look back on what has happened. Over the past 3 years, what have especially small businesses told you about their journey to recover, or perhaps not even recover?
Look, it's for those, many didn't open again. For those that have tried to stay open, it's been harrowing. It's really, really hard. You know, they not only had their stock destroyed and their buildings destroyed, we've got people that are still struggling. You can think of one particular individual who had to start again under a tree in Dambuza after having established his business. He's fighting his way back again. And actually through one of our programs a little while ago, he actually said to me he's finally starting to fall in love with his business again, because it's soul destroying when you've worked so hard for something and someone just comes along and destroys it right in front of you. It's hard to pick up the pieces and start again.
Yeah. You know, just an hour ago we listened to the words where you said, who would do such a thing, where you see the lives, the livelihoods lost. 3 years later, when you look at accountability, what's your view on how authorities have managed the July 2021 unrest?
Very poorly. Quite honestly, we've seen some folk get arrested for being instigators. They still haven't faced trial properly yet. But what really concerns us is the masterminds. You know, who was behind this? Who perpetrated it? For what reason? I think people in South Africa, particularly in this province and in Gauteng, need to see our leadership stand up and say, these are the people that orchestrated what happened in July. What will go down as one of the most traumatic weeks in the lives of many people in KwaZulu-Natal. It won't be forgotten. We still have a reputational damage that we have to try and get past, which we never will be until there's accountability. And we're owed that. You know, we need to see the masterminds behind this face the full might of the law, face accountability. Otherwise, we'll never see the levels of investment that we deserve. There is always the threat that hangs over this province. There's always the threat, the underlying threat of instability. So there needs to be accountability. 3 years down the line, still not good enough.
Absolutely. And, you know, at this point, what has changed? I mean, you're speaking about investment, and when there's possible alarm of instability, you know, how are businesses reacting now? Are they really on tenterhooks for what could happen next?
Yes, I mean, I think there is a feeling of insecurity amongst business people, but what I have to say is that we're a lot more prepared now than we used to be. We're a lot more connected, we're a lot more prepared, and our engagement with SAPS is much, much better. So private security, SAPS and business are working very closely together in this province to ensure that we maintain stability, and that's a positive thing, but some accountability would go a long way to reassuring people and investors.
Melanie, thank you so much for your time. She's the CEO of the Pietermaritzburg and Midlands Chamber of Business. And an important note there, accountability. 3 years on, some folk have been arrested. There have been a handful of convictions. But who is the mastermind? Where are the masterminds? Why are they behind bars? Where's the accountability? That's the word from businesses. This is an umbrella body for businesses in this Midlands area. And we'll keep telling you the story. I'll go back to Durban and tell you about how businesses are recovering there in the next couple of hours.